Entrepreneurship Cell of School of Management PDU and Innovation and Incubation Center PDU. The B Plan competition aims to foster an entrepreneurial mindset among students by providing a platform by providing a platform to develop and present innovative business ideas. This competition will equip participants with essential skills in business planning, financial modeling, and strategic decision making. It offers mentorship, networking, and potential funding opportunities, shaping the future entrepreneurs and leaders. The event is where aspiring entrepreneurs and students present ideas to a panel of judges, investors, and industry experts. Participants typically outline their hypothetical or realistic business model, financial projections, market potential, and competitive strategy. It is a platform for students to develop entrepreneurial skills and gain hands on experience in crafting business plans and strategies. The competition serves as a bridge between theoretical knowledge and practical application. Today, we are privileged to have with us an industry expert who brings us wealth of knowledge and practical experience in entrepreneurship and business strategy. Allow me to introduce our distinguished speaker for today's session, Mr. Rishabh Shah. Mr. Rishabh is a passionate entrepreneur with over 15 years of experience as a chartered accountant. He is seasoned investment banking and MA professional, currently serving as the managing partner at STIR Steer Advisors. His expertise lies in financial advisory, strategic growth planning, and advanced financial modeling, allowing him to deliver high impact solutions to a diverse clientele across industry. His deep understanding of market trends, financial modeling, and investor ready business plans make him perfect guide for today's workshop. Whether you are an aspiring student or exploring business ideas or looking for someone to refine your strategic skills, this session helps you equip with actionable insight. Beyond this, beyond his professional accomplishment, Mr. Rishabh is also known for his engaging interactive teaching style, ensuring that complex concepts are broken down into simpler, practical steps. Welcome, Mr. Rishabh Shah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Before we begin, I would like to share some important updates regarding upcoming business plan competition with all the participants. Participants are required to submit their business plan along with a video pitch. The video pitch can be presented either by an individual or as a team. Submissions will be assessed based on feasibility, innovation, and potential impact of the idea. Shortlisted team will be moving on to the final round, and the submission of the deadline is March 30, 2025. We encourage all participants to apply the insights they will gain from today's session while preparing their submissions. Without further ado, let us all give a warm welcome to Mr. Rishabh, who will now take us through the essentials of building a strong, scalable, and investor friendly business plan. Mr. Rishabh, now I will pass on the discussion to you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you for having me, guys. Uh, Interestingly enough, I have been a startup founder myself. How I wish I could have been a part of certain sessions like this in my early days. That would have helped me a lot in my early days. But anyways, interesting topics that have been taken up by things, and I was just discussing about the business plan because this is precisely what I do. I keep on doing it. Uh, uh, First things, just do want to do a small set up the base out here is I want people to be interacting. I would want people to be interacting more because understandably we are talking around a business plan. Now, this is going to be the core document which is precisely going to define you or your business, right? Why does a business plan play such an important role? See, very honestly, when we go out in the venture world or with your own startup on your own business, whatever it is, whenever you're starting it, business plan is the key document that would help you get money. Now, let's define that into two aspects. Whether you are starting a new company, a good company, or a startup, whatever it is the business plan which defines the pathway to earning more. That is what business plan stands for. The second aspect is today, when we are talking around a business plan, it is the document or the detailed a plan which defines who your target customers are, how are you going to channelize this thing, and all things are going to be there. Let me just try to keep it very interactive and a very example oriented. See, what I'll do is over the course of the next couple of hours when we are discussing this, I'll try to pause at certain times, would want people to be interacting more because as I understand, you would be required to submit the business plans by 30th of March, which is hardly a couple of days away from now. So probably you can feel free and you can keep on asking questions to me. We will make sure that everything is answered so that you can have your business plan refined. Now let's give an example. We all know about a company today which is listed and we all use it daily. You all about Zomato, right? Let's talk around the Zomato as a business model. What was that? I'm not sure anybody or who all are aware, but Zomato initially started off way back before 13 years, 12 to 13 years, as just a food discovery platform. Very simple, fundamentally, you are living in one part of this country, in one city. I am in Ahmedabad, so probably what I could do is I could just get a detail about which are the good restaurants lying around me. That's it. There was nothing else that was shown on that. But they had a very, very particularly clear roadmap. What are we going to do after that? And fast forward to today, Zomato is doing phenomenally well. But this is what defines your business plan, your long-term plan. What are you willing to do? How are you getting your customers? How are you getting to the customers? Another interesting case study, which a lot of you can take it up when you would want to study, is the business plan of a company called Cred, which has been run by Kunal Shah. We are not aware. So a lot of things would be there available on the market about how are they willing to channelize this thing, earn money, do a lot of stuff. So these are some interesting case studies which help you understand this is. I would just request people not to consider this couple of hour session as a teaching thing. Rather, this is a session where you can feel free, you can interact with me, ask questions around in the chat box, trying to know what and how you can define your business plan. Trust me, this is the single plan which will define your future. So gave a couple of ideas about Zomato Cred. I would request people to just go to the chat bot and in case you found across some good cases, good businesses, those business plan you would want to know and a lot of things, you feel free to uh, mention that. Like in case there is a company which you are having, or in case there is a business plan you would want to explore and understand more in depth, that is what we can discuss it out. So I'll go ahead with last session, but feel free to mention out in the chat bot, right? Now, see, there are very specifically three or four aspects of a business plan. I have this presentation which has been shared out to
भाई तुमने
you.
किती मला थोडं आलो टाइम अजी पहिला फोन नंबर लागतो नाही
Yes,
हो
hello. Can we have please muted? Okay, anyways, thank you. So, for a business plan, or for a business, there are four or five very critical aspects before we get on to the presentation sort of a thing. What are those aspects? The first and the most important aspect of any business is who is going to be your customer, who will buy your product or a service, who is going to use that. That's the very important and the very first aspect of your business plan. So you have to be very clear with respect to you have to be very clear with respect to what your customer is going to be, how is going to be a customer come to you, who all are going to be probably who is going to be your TG, which is the target group and everything. So the first aspect, which is very, very important, is who is your customer. Second, what additional or what is your value proposition to them. Say, for example, step number one, you have found out that this is going to be my customer. What are you going to add value to him? Why? What's your value proposition? Why is he going to use your product or a service? That's where the couple of things get settled. That's where a couple of things, this answering just these two things will clarify a lot of thoughts about your business. So again, continuing the example of Zomato, there was Zomato, then there was Swiggy. Still, there was an interference and there was a new company which came out was Uber Eats. Now, for you, say for example, you want to find out or probably come out with a food discovery, probably food delivery platform. What is a good value proposition that you are offering, which these people are not? All right. So that is what it is. If people have carefully read or thought around and seen the things around, Swiggy has started a feature or some feature, something called a Swiggy Bolt, which is nothing but you give and you take, you can get the items delivered to you in 10 to 15 minutes. So if somebody asks me what is the proposition, value proposition of Swiggy Bolt, yes, delivering good food to the end customer, which is an end consumer, in 10 to 15 minutes. This is the value proposition that we have. Okay. Now that you've defined the customer, what is the value that is there? The third important aspect which channels both things, how are you going to reach to them? How will you get it delivered? Whether the customer is required to come to you, do you have a store? Do you have a restaurant? Or are you going to get it delivered? Or are you going to go to that person and do that? Do you need logistics? You need porter? You need whatever it is. So that's the important aspect which comes in. And so this uh, entire scenario completes the channel of customers for you. Who's your customer? What are you offering and how are you offering? And then the loop has to be ended by something called as customer reviews. You always have to be out in the market with respect to the customers. You need to consider taking customer reviews. A factual information I'll share out here. I was reading some survey. I tend to read a lot. I'm pretty much active on the LinkedIn. You can check it out. And one of the very important data point which I was mentioning, like talk about startups. A lot of startups fail. If the numbers go well, 97 out of 100 startups fail. There was a survey done, and it was like, why did the startup fail? The number one reason for startup failing was lack of funds, which perhaps everybody of us here would be aware. But what was surprising was the second reason. The second reason was a lot of startups, around 37% of the startups failed because they were trying to solve a problem which essentially was not there. And why does this happen? Because you haven't done your research. You have never understood your customer. You don't know what your customer wants. And that is where the problem lies. So whenever you are charting out a business plan, please make sure to identify a problem to solve. It's a very clear scenario where you don't want. Talk about certain examples that I will keep on doing it to stay more relevant to with respect to the understanding. Now, talking about cred, when it started, it solved one problem, which was the credit card payment. I use a couple of credit cards. I always had to remember when is the due date and all that stuff. What if I forget? They used to charge a lot of money. They used to charge around 36% per annum as an interest. They were categorically trying to solve this problem. So that's something. The reason I'm telling you all these things, and the reason I'm taking you a brief up about this thing is because this is essentially going to help you. How do you chart out your business plan? For people who are going to be presenting whenever the thing comes in, please make sure about one thing. Never ever speak just what is written in the business plan. The business plan is a documented version, but it is all about the clarity that you have in your mind. The clarity that you have in your thought process will what define you. Coming to the next aspect is now that the customer side is done, then you have to understand how are you going to earn. Whether you are going to earn by commission, are you going to manufacture, are you going to do trading, or how? There are different things. Let me give an example of the most frequently used app on your phone. I have not interacted with most of you, but still I can definitely tell that the most used application on your mobile phone is something called WhatsApp. WhatsApp has never ever charged you anything. Neither it will charge. Right? We all are using WhatsApp freely. We are interacting on that very freely. And that's the thought process that's there. But then what is their revenue stream? Their revenue stream is our behavior, right? We don't use WhatsApp, but after we don't pay for WhatsApp. We all use WhatsApp. Now, second step, perhaps when everybody of us was using WhatsApp, have started using WhatsApp, then came out WhatsApp Business for the businesses which want to promote their product or do some services. That is what WhatsApp Business came from. Let me give the numbers for you. You can do a Google also or a Chat GPT also these days. Uh, the last year revenue of WhatsApp from India was $9 billion. $9 billion. 1 billion is roughly around 8,500 crores. And WhatsApp earned around $9 billion from this. Second such example, some a very frequently used application on your phone, even everybody uses it, is Google Maps. Maps never charge you. They never come to you like you want to go from this place to that. Give me this much money only, then I'll take you. No, never. They won't ever do that. But still, the proposition that they have built is so useful for the others that they pay for it. So it's simple scenario. The revenue stream for them is very clear. Deliver so much value that others do that. Talk about WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, a lot of stuff. It's all about delivering a proposition based on which you set up your base model. Now that you know everything, what you want to do and everything, now it's about completing the entire puzzle. Step number one, okay, I want to do this. What are the resources that are going to do? What is the technology what will I need out here? What is the cost that I'll have to spend? So once this thought process is clear of what you are wanting to add or deliver, once that is clear, then comes the second step is how are you going to do that? You need people, you need money, you need technology. What? Whatever you want is to be then channelized on the other aspect. Now that you know, like I'll need probably 10 people, and you have to identify who all are going to work in what category. One realistic, I have worked with more than 500 companies because I work as an investment banker, so there are a lot of companies coming up. One thing which I've noticed is the owner or the founder is not always the smartest one in the company. But the successful founders, learning from successful founders, they know that this is something which I don't know or I am not good at, and they get the right persons for that. It is not always that the founder knows everything. So please make sure about this understanding clarity in your mind. Like it's not about this, right? Now, coming to the next aspect, okay, now that you've plugged out everything, this, it's all about now putting that into perspective on document, in paper, and getting it done. Why do you need a business plan, first of all? Right? The basic importance of a business plan is to document what you have known. So whenever you are preparing a business plan, competition is there, and you're preparing business plan, you are going to get a lot of ideas. The easiest way and the simplest way to do is start writing and scribbling down on a piece of paper, right? In case anybody of you or a lot of you who are willing to start a business of your own, not just a startup, but a business, father's business, parents' business, whatever it is, you want to just join in, sit out without your any disturbance, go out to a place, sit for 2 hours with a huge piece of paper, write scribbling down and mentioning it out all the thoughts that you get. Keep on mentioning it out, and that's where how the things will begin from there. So I think that is good enough for me to set up a base. Probably if somebody has anything to share out here, probably can take it up, or else I'll share my screen with you guys to probably take ahead the next facet of the session, right? I guess somebody from the committee would have to help me with my presentation. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Hope my screen is visible now to you. Okay. Uh, Going ahead. I am assuming there are no questions as of now. Anyways, so this is a basic template of a business plan. See, there are a lot of thoughts about uh, starting out a very simple business plan which can be submitted by everyone. Like, okay, I'm talking about there people are trying to make out a template that what about a business plan, a single template which runs in every scenario, but that is not the case. But I guess probably the incubator has done a tremendous job by giving a good chartered. Anyway, so okay, fair enough. Okay, there is a question from somebody called Madhav. He or Madhav, I guess, he shares that I have developed a product which is problem solver, but how do I penetrate it really? I had no idea. Okay, Madhav, see, wherever you feel that the problem is there, who- you have to understand who's your target customer. First of all, define your problem as per your understanding has to be there. Like, list down 100 people. Like, say, for example, if you're a problem solving product, you just mention out this person. Start out a list of 100 people. Do this exercise. Go to them and take a feedback. Do you think this is a problem? Number one. Okay. Question two. Okay. If this is a problem for you, are you going to pay for it? Third question. Okay. Now that you're telling that you are going to pay for it, how much are you willing to spend? Probably 100, less than 500,000, something like that. The moment you go out to your customers, a lot of clarity will be there. And very honestly, rather than developing a company and spending a lot of money without being able to, uh, without being able to be sure that this company will run or the startup will run, it's always important to do a ground level research like this, right? Trust me, the first couple of months when you do this, this is the first couple of months when the research happens, that is where the success of the business is shaped. Okay, the follow-up question, Madhav, I'm reading, I am from construction industry and I've developed material which evaporates moisture from the surface. Perfect. Now that you have the product which you have developed, for you, then I guess builders are going to be your customers. Builders, probably who all customers. So, say for example, you want to sell this product, who are going to buy this product? Make a list of 100 such people who are going to be there. Reach out to them. Nobody is going to tell you no, because that is what you would have to do that. That is something that you will have to probably think around. That is where you will have to make uh, that effort to be there. But make that list, go out with the research, and that's how it, right? So that's what you have to do. Now, okay, so there's another question from somebody whose name is Casey, I'm not sure. You just shared that we need to find out target audience. How to do that? A lot of startups fail because they think they have solving a big pain point, but they fail to know if our plan falls in the bracket or not. Okay, yeah. Knowing the target audience, just do not see anything. Go out in the market and evaluate what is a problem with your people. You have to probably do your ground level learning out here. Now, as Mother was telling about doing that ground level research, he knows that probably picking out moisture which evaporates, getting out a material which evaporates moisture from the surface is a problem. That's probably what it is. Now, understand this is something which will be needed for builders. This is something that will be needed for this, and you have to chart out. So, just to answer you, what you have to do is, say, for example, you have got an idea. You have got an idea. Just think around who all are going to benefit from this idea. I was mentioning about CRED, where they started off with solving credit cards. So what they were trying to build? Acha, what's the pain area? Credit card payments. Obviously, who's the target market? Credit card holders. That is how you drill down to your very clearly and a very clear demarcation of what it is, right? There's some another question, probably this from Ayush. You have like I have developed a surveillance system which is target customer is malls, government, and the system is Jatayu, which women safety software. So it is on current camera and generation, and it generate alerts like harassment, alone woman, SOS alert. Okay, perfect. Now this is a very good case, Ayush, for you. Now let's pick up this case. I think for the people who are there, you can see the question of Ayush in this thing. He has developed a system, a surveillance system, which is integrated with your camera, or probably runs on the in a different camera, but I guess it's on the current camera, and it generates alerts, which is going to be there based on detection like harassment and all that stuff. So Ayush, you believe that government and malls are your target customer. Sorry, no. Your customer segment are those women who travel and who go to these places. Government definitely has a specific governments and malls can always give you that impetus that acha, no, we also want this, right? Your customer is first of all women who come. Let's take for an example, there is a mall or there is a place where no women come, where there is no entry of a women or generally less women come. Is it that going to be a customer? No. So ideally, for you, the customer, the first tip point for you is women who travel alone, who are going to malls and governments. That's the first piece. This is your B2C. The customer is going to be the governments and malls are going to be your B2B segment. This is the place because I would definitely would love to go to, so if I'm a female, I would love to go to a mall where these harassment cases are less, right? But the ideal target point or a tip point is for you to, is women. Second, the government can be an additional, malls can be an additional, places can be animal, can be an additional to that. Now, this women who face certain issues like this, they would want to get alerts. So probably something happens, alerts are sent out to somebody. So that is how it is. So this is how you should go. Now, think for an example. Like, let me put a very perspective, Ayush. You find out 100 females around you. Probably you have to be very, very honest and specific out here. Like, have you faced certain issues like this? Yeah, they say yes. And then you are bringing out certain scenarios like this. Like, okay, this is a solution that I'm bringing. And then you ask this women, okay, I am bringing a system where certain things like this happen, and there will be immediate alerts which will be sent out to probably a lot of people. Like if it's a government, it will be sent to government, the mall manager, somebody at your home, or something like that. If if this facility is provided to you, ma'am, would you be willing to pay? Second, how much would you be willing to pay? That is where you'll be able to understand. Like, okay, boss, this is how it is. Very clear example. Amazon and Flipkart, Myntra, a lot of things were there. Today, Swiggy, Instamarts, and a lot of things are like this are there. So the question out here is this: are there customers? Are you solving the problem? And how much are you willing to pay? In my society where I live on the 10th floor. Now, just ahead of 100 meters or 200 meters, there is a provision store. This would be a case with almost a lot of people. But still, I prefer to use Swiggy Instamart. Why? Because for me, the problem is going down and probably trying to get that. That's where it is. So see, it's always obvious to try and talk with the people who are going to pay you. Random hawa mein, nothing is going to happen, right? You have to go towards this thing, right? Now, Madhav, I guess I answered the question. I think there are a couple of question or comments which have come out. Uh, one is Nishu, I built a service-based platform, and okay, so this is a startup or a platform which has been done. Probably it is about providing second-hand vehicles to hosteliers who need it the most. Nishu, I guess this is a huge market. You never know. Like getting a second-hand vehicle inside the hostels you are have it is can be a huge thing. Let's drill down further. Let's drill down further. You can hire it for a day. You can get it for an hour or something like that. You can think around this. See, you are telling that there is a big demand in other universities. Just do this thing. Capture 10 universities. Do this research. 10 universities. Pick up 20 people from every university and ask them. And the answer will be visible to you. Ishmeet, I think so. Okay, Ishmeet says like we are developing MR and a dating platform for Gen Zs. Our goal is to goal is to create a safer and engaging community-driven experience with features like anonymous chatting, interest interactions, and campus mode. Fine. So, Ishmeet, I'm not sure this is a question directed or it's just you have shared it with the community. But yes, this is a good proposition. But dating culture in India needs a serious revamp. To be very honest, it needs a serious revamp. So probably what you are trying to do is very good. We all are using YouTube, we all use Instagram, and we all use Facebook, right? There are so many fake things happening. So probably, as you said, a safer and a more engaging. I guess you should, or you would definitely be doing that uh, pre-front understanding that you are just trying to eliminate all these fake people out there. If you're able to do only that, that's great. Right? Madhav, okay, follow-up question. So probably this will be the last question because we now go to the business plan. But thank you guys. This makes the session so happy and more relevant because you can understand and discuss real case studies. Madhav, your question is in the industry architect concern, PMC are influencers and they're preferring past projects. But because of this project being new, to build portfolio, should you do digital marketing? See, for you to understand and for everybody in this session, please understand that digital marketing is never the shortcut to scale your product. You can definitely do a digital marketing and get a couple of clients, but again, if the experience is bad, you cannot and you won't survive. So I'm not sure if the PMCs or the architect consultants are pretty much there on the digital marketing page. Like say for example, there is a builder. Do you think a builder goes on Instagram and says कि मुझे cement कहाँ से लेना है? I doubt. I'm not sure. But digital marketing has a lot of different ways, right? So there are different ways of digital marketing. Is Google, Meta. There are spatial analysis, spatial intelligence, location intelligence, a lot of things. So you can probably check out with a good agency, try to see what you can do. But yeah, I think you should do to reach out to the right person. But don't go to this traditional influencer based marketing. Nobody in the area that you are working makes decision like this, right? Nishu, I think a question, the answer to your question, like what you said, like, okay, you are telling that there are management challenges. See, if there are management challenges, that's where you know where the problem lies, right? For you, then the customer is not just people, but the customer is the management. You have to go to these guys, you have to go to these universities, you have to go to these colleges and tell that, okay, I'm cracking a code, 20 vehicles for your university. You use it. You can understandably study about the model of My Bike, MYBYK. My Bike did the same. Go out to your university. They went to campuses, huge campuses. 100 cycles उधर रख दिए. They just disposed of 100 cycles. So that's what helped them, right? So that's what pretty much it is. Before the questions come in, let me just focus on the template. We'll have a enough time. I'll try to keep 30, 40 minutes or even an hour for discussion or a lot of stuff. But it's important for us to understand how the format should be because it's going to be there. See, first of all, you need to have certain basic things. Your proposed company name. What's the name of your company? That's obviously the basic thing that is needed. Uh, while selecting the name of the company, this is something that you should be doing. I'm very sure that you would have done already. You should always try to use a unique name of the company, trying to see that domains and things are available. There should not be any trademark issue and certain things like this, because you would not want to have a company which does something good and then you come to know कि नहीं ये नाम तो कोई दूसरी company का है. So I should not do that and you face this problem, right? Then your service uniqueness, the one which I value proposition. How are you different? Madhav, Kisi, Nishu, Ishmeet, whatever you said, how are you different? Just do this, right? So for people out here, whatever the first message that you are sending, which you have sent out, like we are doing this. This is basically your elevator pitch. We talk this, we say this as an elevator pitch. So essentially, your elevator pitch should cover a lot of things. Not a part of our business plan, but still telling you. Question three, what is the what is the sector or the industry that you're focusing on? Fourth, what is your company going to do? What's your product and services? Sixth, this is the most critical aspect. What is the identified need addressed by a product or service? What is your identified need? What is that the customer is wanting? So for example, Ishmeet that you've written, what is the need? Why do people need this? That need has to be identified. So for this is what I was referring to when I said about the 100 or the 200 people and a survey. Please, guys, make sure one thing. Whenever you're doing this survey or running this survey, try to interact with them in person. Don't do just a Google form कि ये भर देना. No, that won't work, right? And another thing is always document it. This survey will come back to you. The benefits of this survey can come back to you in unknown ways. In unknown ways. So just document it, the surveys and things that you've done, you've taken, and that's what it is. Right? Okay, Lakshya, I'll come back to a question once I have this thing. But yeah, I have noted your question and a very interesting one. Okay, seventh, why is a product or service compelling? Why do you think so? If there is anybody telling, कि, "Acha, we are the only ones in the market doing that," if you ever feel that, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. Why? I'll tell you why. Two reasons. One, because you are trying to say that ये problem किसी ने solve ही नहीं किया आज तक. Nobody has been able to solve this problem. Now, it's impossible. For a country of 140 crores, it's impossible. All right. So essentially, the first red flag is that you have either not studied the problem enough or you have not studied the competition enough. Because it is possible that the problem is there, but the competition which may be there, you don't know. Let me give you an example. Netflix, we know, right? What is the biggest competition to Netflix? Sleep. Because if we are used to sleep at 9 or 10, right? Instagram, all this social media, they push out the content the highest in the night time. If you see the scrolling time and everything, right? That's how effectively and in depth you have to go back and understand your problem or your competition. Now somebody comes and says, sir, मैंने देख लिया, but there is no competition. Means then the others, and somebody can come back to me, sir, I have studied enough. There are no competitors. I'm very sure. I've done all the research. Then the second step to know is what is that thing that the competition is not wanting to come to. So, for example, there is another company which was there earlier, but वो अभी ना बोल रहे कि नहीं ये फील्ड में काम नहीं करना है. But when these two things are happening, that's where you will realize that why and what are the reasons because of which the companies earlier or the competitors have failed. Right? So always try to make this what is that specific value proposition that you're offering, but please don't say ever that there is no competition. It's pretty much unlikely to be there. However, there can be scenarios being a patented product. कोई ऐसी चीज है, okay, you are making Apple Android जैसा you are making it altogether a new operating system. So that's possible. That can be there. Anyways, question number 8, what is your product or a likely product? Initially, it can be just an idea phase, but what's a product, right? India right now is in a scenario where India needs products as well as services both. So don't think that product से ही बोलता है, you can sell off. B2B, the companies behind the doors earn the best and the biggest. Let me give you an example, and I'm continuing for the sake of understanding and simplicity. The examples. Today, I want to order a vada pav on a Zomato. I'll go on Zomato, I'll see कि मैंने वड़ा पाव select किया, a couple of friends are there, तो हाँ चलो 4 वड़ा पाव या 5 वड़ा पाव select किया. Then the next step, you select your address, right? Address, how does this company Zomato के पास कहाँ से address है? Yeah. So for tracking from which location you are speaking, वो लोग क्या करते हैं? They use Google Maps, right? You remember we talked about like Google Maps का revenue. This is from where Google Maps earns. Google Map integrate किया. Step 3, उसके बाद अच्छा ये हुआ, ऑर्डर प्लेस किया, इतना अमाउंट है, यू स्टार्ट मेकिंग अ पेमेंट. And whenever you're making a payment online, GPay, VPay, जो भी है, you see that scenario like एक company है Just Pay करके, Safe Pay, a lot of companies are there with which you can complete the order and you are done. For you, you are only on Zomato, but you see Google Maps, you see this company called Just Pay or something. These are not the companies which are out there in the market. ये सब हो रहा है. I don't think so. These are the companies that need that introduction, but they are doing a lot of stuff in the back end. I guess somebody is trying to annotate something. If you can avoid, please, on the screen, please don't do that. Anyways, the ninth product. So, okay, sorry, coming back to the eighth one. What's your likely product? So the product can be something on the front, जो दिखता है, it can be something on the back end. You are doing this and that. Imagine the scenario. I'm pretty much like 15, 16 years in the profession, everything. I did my college in 2009, 2006. And 2006, when I was वो time पे when I had to make a payment, what was it? What was the way? Go to your bank account, online bank karo, you add somebody, you wait for 24 hours and then the payment can be done. Today, you want to make a payment to me and I want to make a payment to you. What do you need? Nothing. Simple. Just take your phone, UPI करके छोड़ दो. Right? Isn't this fascinating? So there are certain technologies that you can build on, right? Okay. Ninth, what is the significance or need of the product? Why do you think that people would want to use the product? Why do you think that people would love your product? Why do you think that the product is that? You have to very categorically mention. And I guess all the questions that have been raised in the session till now had written this thing, right? Now, 10th, describe when it is the right time to launch a product or service. Now, there are certain products or services which require a very specific time zone. Like, say, for example, I would probably place out an accounting firm. Say, for example, I'm making an accounting software. I want to launch a product. Per se, it is not a problem to launch any time of the year, but April is the time when people buy the softwares the most, right? That is where it is. That's where probably you can also think about launching a product. And the 11th question, is your company looking at innovation or a routine business? This is what I said in the first thing. Whether you're a startup, because startup itself is innovation, or a business, probably so joining a business and everything, that's where you do. Again, repeating, B2B, business to business, is a huge ballgame in India, right? B2C is also a big because we are a country of 140 crores. Now, for all the people, this is something which I'll do this. If you want to study how does India behave, in case you are genuinely thinking of starting something in India, building something, read this report called Indus Valley Report. I'll mention it on the chat box, which probably will help you guys. The Indus Valley Report by Bloom Ventures. This report would give you so much understanding of the Indian ecosystem. Tremendous. Anyway, so now probably I'll stop at this. I would and take up the questions. I have a couple of questions out here, and but I'll keep this screen open because if you have certain questions relating to what I probably just discussed, out of this 11, you can probably feel free to do that. But question Lakshya, so there is somebody called Lakshya who has asked, is it every time necessary to solve a problem? There are irregulated markets and you want to bring that black economy to white. That can't there be money? This is again a problem. People spending more in cash and not through bank, that itself is a problem. What you are trying to do, Lakshya, is like, okay, do out or bring out a platform or whatever mode it is through which people consuming more in black market or through cash modes, they shift to the bank modes. That itself is a problem, right? And follow up as you question, and you have raised out like pricing power comes only in D2C. No, I'm sorry, absolutely no. I know for a fact, I'll tell you an example. I am working with a brand, a food brand. They make good this pizzas and they are into snacks. For them, the cost of this pizza is 20 rupees. 20 rupees. They give it to the franchise outlets for 25, 30, 40 rupees. These guys go and then sell out to for 160 rupees. So apparently, it will look, yeah, वो 40 वाला 160 में बेचता है, that is good. But the reality here is he would have to bring in every individual customer to their platform. D2C is a good marketplace. Margins are high, but you have to bring out the player or the consumer to your platform, to your product. हाँ, ये लो. And what you are doing is once it goes good, then the churning is happen, but you have to keep those customers within you. Now, a couple of more examples, Laksh. There's an actually an the actual wrong the actual reverse mechanism. The margins at the D2C level are the worst, and then it comes at the basic level at the most. Okay, coming to the again the same example, Zomato makes the most money not by delivery. Zomato has a target to become EBITDA positive for food delivery business the next year, not this year. Learn and understand the problem called, or rather, there another company called Hyperpure. Hyperpure is the place where they make the most money. So it depends, Lakshya. I cannot tell that, okay, this is it, but only I'm more concerned with your statement that it only comes with D2C. I'm not sure. Anyway, so a lot of question are coming in, Lakshya. Uh, Probably, Lakshya, this is a very detailed discussion on a gray market, this market. It depends on how are you going to make it. See, I generally never work or would never want to work out with companies where there are literal regulations coming in, government. Because once you have certain things, good things with you, and then certain regulations are coming in, your model can be scrapped within a day. Scrapped, absolutely scrapped within a day. Okay, Casey, the question is, can you explain point 7 and difference between sixth and can I have this muted, please? Okay. Can you explain the point number 7 again? Difference between 6 and 9, then what's the best way to answer 4? Okay. 7. Why is your product and service compelling? Why should somebody use your product and service? How are you different than others? This is a very simplistic answer to point number 7. What makes your product or service different? Simple, right? As simple as this. Difference between 6 and 9. Okay. What is the identified need, addressed, significance or need of your product? Okay. What is the problem what you're trying to solve? That is point number 6. The market has this pain point. Point number 9 is we are the solution to this pain point. We are the solution to this pain point or the need of the customer. And your last question, Casey, I think, what will your company do? What are you going to do on a very holistic way? All right. Like as Lakshya said, like trying to force out or trying to curb the black market economy into white market economy. So that's just a holistic vision that you want to do. I'll trust the one thing that you should do. I think I forgot, Lakshya, while answering to you. Just Google and read the Tesla master plan. Master plan of Tesla is what you should research. You will find a lot of things, and that will tell you, okay, oh, boss, the vision of the company is much larger than what we are seeing on the screen or on your feeds or on Instagram. The vision is something very different, right? Tesla has a video. But I posted that on my LinkedIn probably a couple of months back. The SpaceX जो चल रहा है ना, like you would have seen the SpaceX shuttle going and coming back, them catching it and everything. This was their vision, and there was a video made on the SpaceX or Tesla SpaceX YouTube channel before 7 years. Before 7 years, 2018, there's a video on SpaceX. What are they planning to do? So this is what you do, and this is what you should be answering by point number 4. Next question. I think there's this company, Abhishek. Yeah. So I'm Abhishek, founder of Snacklery, focusing on sustainability and convenience. Many startups focus on solving a specific problem. The more are about enhancing experiences. What is your take on startups of problem solving versus experiences? Okay, both of these companies would survive, number one, and you also are agreeing to it. but it's about enhancing experiences. I would personally tell that India is now, and India before 10 years was a scenario where we were just wanting to survive. भाई ठीक है survive करो. Now it's about enhancing our experiences. We want to enhance user interface faster. Yeah. Imagine this, Abhishek, you downloaded an app. It is actually helping you solve a problem. Great. It is doing good. And but there is another app which came which is doing it better. So the first app which you are using, though it was solving a problem, which is the one that you're going to use? Obviously the second one, because your experience is better. And this is a problem in India. Once you uninstall an app, it is damn difficult to get it downloaded. Take your own example. How many times you have downloaded an app, uninstalled it, and downloaded it again? Just think over it. Out of the 100, 200 apps on your sitting on your phone. So that is where I see that enhancing experiences is always the thing which will stay, and you would have to keep on working on it, right? One thing I'll mention before, but before I would want to answer out the questions. Moksha, like how do freshers make a mark of themselves in a huge industry where the whole industry is dominated by B2B and mostly it works in past business relationships and so Mokshal, it is not about being fresher, it's all about having the clarity. I'm just 39. I'm not a senior guy of 50, 60 years. I don't have an experience probably what others are having. But yeah, that's it. Talk about Oyo, Ritesh. He started Oyo at 21. He did a B2B Oyo business. He went out and do this. It's all about the clarity that you have, the clarity, the research, the understanding that you have. That's what stays. That's what stays. Yeah. If you go out with a very half-baked knowledge and not doing that research, nobody's going to come back to you. Right? Hate, we're working on generating energy from walking. Is it good idea? Yes. Walking, energy generating from walking. Yeah, it's a good idea, but it all depends on how are you going to do that. Again, coming back to the question, who is going to be a customer? The ones who need energy or the ones who want to walk? Try to figure out that. And what are the implications of this? Who is going to pay and everything? So just drill down into this. That's where it's going to help you out. Bhomik, I'm building in something in the AI space, grassroots problem. The space is humanly dominated. Uh, okay, you are working on an AI problem, space solving a grassroots problems, right? You have reached out to industry professionals, but got mixed responses, right? But you are wanting to work which is relevant in the 8 to 10 years of market, right? For you, then you have to understand. So for you, it is very critical to do and very detailed uh, defining of your competition, right? Um, it's like you have to see what the people are seeing. There are a lot of people who are trying to do digital marketing. There are a lot of people who are doing graphic designing. A lot of people are actually doing it today. Just before a couple of days, Chat GPT is just started off the image generation tool. Forget the Ghibli style photos, but the image generation, phenomenal. I just did one simple thing. I was sitting in a meeting. There was this Mentos. I just took that Mentos on the table. I clicked the photo, and then I just uploaded it to ChatGPT, and I told like, okay, create a good visual ads for this, and the result was immense. Now, the point I'm trying to take out here is whether are you going to complement the existing interest industry or competing. So either it has to be an understanding of complementing versus competing, right? You need to do a huge research on what are the problems and everything, right? Uh, Casey, coming to your question, I'm working at Gazel. Okay. So you are trying to bring the India's craftsmanship or probably the people to these people. This is something. So you are essentially targeting the cream of India. The Indus Valley report, you see, KCL specifically mention out to whoever, like the name Casey is written, please read the Indus Valley report. They have categorized three Indias: India A, India 1, India 2, India 3. India 1 is at the top. You are trying to cater to India 1, which is the top. They would need this, they would love this. And that's where your strategy should be framed out. Tattva, I have the founder of this, 5,000 revenue done. You connect strangers over dinners, right? We have traction, have made 7 dinners happen across Vadodara and Ahmedabad. Okay, so Tattva, my question, why do you think I would want to go and meet a stranger at a dinner? How many people would love that? What's the problem? The problem, what I see you are trying to solve is probably building a community of like-minded people who can bond over food. Probably food can be a place where you can bring in. Like, okay, say for example, I love South Indian food, South Indian cuisine. South Indian cuisine wale logo ko just gathering around, something like that, right? So that's what you are, and then you can build upon this. See, say for example, continuing this example, South Indian food, pay you are bringing in people, dinners organized here, people came, you build this community, build up a community of 10,000 people in Ahmedabad and Baroda. Next time a South Indian restaurant comes in, they would want you, okay, boss, you have a huge audience. Please come at our place. And you can charge for that. So you can be specifically curated that scenario community driven platform. Right. Uh, Ayush, coming back, yes, I would definitely suggest considering this scenario that gathering review from women has to be there because they are the ones who are getting affected. If the women are not affected, then who do you think is more of an essence, and who do you think will pay for this? You are very critically trying to solve a very critical problem which is there, and I believe that that is what will help you. Okay, thank you to the incubation center. They have shared, like we'll share the Indus Valley report. I'll just request the Indus Valley report. There are three reports, 23, 24, 25. You can go to uh, Indus Valley report of all the 3 years, but immediately अगर करना है तो 25 का देखो first because that's a 150 pager report. I have read it, so no. Uh, there is this guy called Parthiv. There is high demand of organic and hygienic food in market, but there is few number of business. Is it good idea? Hygienic and organic food. How do you or why do you see that there are only few players? I personally know at least 20 brands. 20. The only problem is they do not know how to approach the market. They do not know that. For this organic and hygienic food, I would suggest that what you should do, and I think that's a good idea, that you should go and try to study the market, go to the market and develop a good marketing strategy to reach out to the people. That's where the thing will come in. Brands will open, brands will close. That's it. The demand, yes, it is good. Demand is high now. Whether are will people willing to pay for it? Ask it out to the people. सिंपल थिंग पार्थिव यार जो पे करने वाला है उसको भी पूछो ना कितना पे करोगे हु एम आई टू गाइड यू राइट that's how it's simple as it. Okay, Tattva, probably to fight big city loneliness. I don't know big city loneliness is there or not a community, so but community, so Tattva, I'll tell you one thing. Check out this book called Community Masters. This is a very nice book, and it says much about much of an idea about how communities are made and how they are done. That probably that may help you, right? Casey, think you have a question. Your business idea is good. I will not uh, disagree to that, but you need to do a work. Like do this work, and you'll be able to do it better. Uh, Necklary, okay. Okay, one line answer. McClary, I don't know. Abhishek, right? Yeah. Abhishek, my one line answer. Super business, good idea. It all depends on how do you execute it. I will not invest if you have not invested money. First thing. I will not invest if you have made at least 10 lakhs of revenue. And third thing, if you are able to crack this code, I would want you to come with me and sell outside India, not in India. People out there pay a lot for this. Just a feedback of how things look out, right? Because India never pays. I see how many people are there in this session, some 60, 65. I can very well tell you one thing. Hardly 4 or 5 of these people would be spending on YouTube Premium, which cost you about 100 rupees a month. That's the reality. YouTube सब use करते हैं, but premium कितना करते हैं? This is a problem that comes in. To make Indian space difficult. Okay. Anyways, coming to the session, back to the session. Let's first finish that, and then we can take it up the questions. What are the features or the benefits of your product? I think we have covered a lot of stuff here. Define your entire product or service into small features. What all things are there? And specifically mention it out. I think the last message what you shared, Craftsman, that's it. Your edible cutlery, that's one. Turning any instant soup this into a coffee stick, जो है वो all these things, use it and eat it. That is what it is. You have to mention out all your features. See, as a founder of a product or as an entrepreneur, आपको लग रहा है कि हाँ हाँ ये तो होना ही चाहिए, ये तो है. Even the smallest of the feature has to be highlighted. That's where you have to use this chart. What is the feature? What are the benefits? What is the feature? What are the benefits? Say, for example, I'm probably launching an app, right? Say, for example, I'm launching an app, so I have to mention out my features. I have to mention out my features. What are the features that you have? What all things I can do from this app and everything. Go to any app or go to any marketing website and see they have written that. What are these things? This is essentially that. And not the last, but the most important perspective, funding. This is precisely so. I think there was one question. First, let me take that. Okay, Pragya, I think we are discussing the same thing. Right? If you're looking for investments, would it be better to invest our own, or should we try to find other investors who like the business idea? Okay. First things first, India. Will anybody in India will ask, how much are you investing? Why would or why should I invest in you when you are not investing? I don't see an answer. Somebody comes to you and tells, आपने कितना डाला हुआ है? And you tell कि नहीं मैंने तो कुछ नहीं डाला. Then why should I invest? Funding. So the first question is, the first,
Again,
yeah.
could you please repeat the last point you mentioned? I could not hear that.
So I was just telling that, Pragya, I think the point which I was trying to tell is, why would I or why should I invest in a company that you are starting when you have not invested? It's a simple scenario like this in India. So every person who is an investor in India will ask this question, right? So let me just go through the question first of all, and that is why then post that we can take up the question. Okay. Casey, I think there is no benchmark of how much can first year invest, but let me just take this slide first. First, how much fund can be organized by you? As I said, how much are you investing? Very likely chances that you would not be able to invest a big money, a big amount. Very likely chances. But in that case, you don't have to worry, but you have to bring in something. If you cannot bring in the money, then you should go out to your immediate relatives, parents, brothers, their friends, and everything. Right? That's how you it is. But it has to be like how many fund can be organized by you. The question doesn't say how many fund has been invested by you, organized by you. Second, you tell that I can organize 10 lakhs. Great. The second question, अच्छा उसके बाद क्या? How will the company be financed ahead? Investor बोल रहा है हाँ I am ready but मुझे 1 साल होगा. So how do you run the company? You cannot shut a company for 1 year. कि नहीं अभी investor के रुपए आने तो उसके बाद कर रहे हैं. It cannot work like that, right? You need to have a pipeline. You are a founder. Think from a founder or a businessman perspective. You are an owner, you are a founder, you are an entrepreneur, you are a businessman or a businesswoman. Think around like how do you run this business for the next 2 years? Probably if you're doing this, I think somebody mentioned a lot of ideas. If you can probably get out advance from your customer, good. Churn that around. Customer say advance low, product banao, give it, do that. Most likely, that's also a good case, right? Okay. Now, the third question: what funds you are seeking immediately from the investor? Always make a detailed calculation of how much funds are needed. Generally, people say, "Oh, I want 1 CR. I'll use 20 lakhs for salaries. 20 lakh idhar, ye wo." No, it doesn't work like this. 20 lakhs of salaries kaise? Who is going to be hired when? उसको monthly salary दिखाओ. Monthly कितना हो गया? Around budget. Like say for example, today I tell that I want to take a digital marketing agency for me or a person in that position and digital marketing marketer for me or a product developer for me or a business development for me or an analyst for me. I know the range, right? I have to write it down every aspect. इन्वेस्टर का कॉन्फिडेंस आता है लाइक ओके हाँ दिस गाइस टेलिंग 20 lakhs बट ही हैज रिटन वेरी वेल 20 lakhs कौन से महीने में कहाँ कैसे यूज होने वाला है राइट दैट ऑल्सो आंसर द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन हाउ विल द फंड्स बी यूज्ड how it is going to be used, right? And once you have the money, the next question, what are the milestones that will be achieved? ये रुपए दे दिए like say once a year I've given 20 lakhs, you're telling ये इधर करोगे. How and when are you going to achieve the milestone? Say, as I said, I'm hiring a digital marketing guy in my office. What's milestone? Yes, I plan to expand my digital marketing channels. I plan to bring leads of my product. I plan to close sales of my product. Right? Now there will be a point where the money will go, will probably be less. You won't need the money. You would need the money. The best case scenario in the world के you never need money again. आपका business इतना अच्छा हो कि आपको money नहीं चाहिए. That's the best case. But let's be honest, it never happens. So the question, what is it? Sixth question which is mentioned, what are the anticipated future funding needs of the company? What are the future needs of the company? ये I've given 1 year, you're telling that अच्छा ये 15 months के लिए होगा. उसके बाद क्या? Right? Never judge or quantify your startup by the funding needs. You have to tell that अच्छा I want to be a 100 crore brand. Simple. मुझे 100 crore का brand बनना है. On the camera side, I think what we are discussing, like okay, surveillance cameras for female safety. I want to be a 50 crore brand. 50 crore के लिए मुझे कब जाना है? In 3 years. Okay. Breakdown. 3 years जाने के लिए मुझे कितना revenue चाहिए? 50 crores. 50 crores divided by हर एक customer के पास से how much I will charge? 5,000. Okay. How many customers are there? अच्छा. इतने customers को बताया तो do that reverse working to help you reach there. Say for example, I'm starting off a restaurant. I'll tell you I want to reach a monthly sale of 10 lakhs rupees. Okay. 10 lakh का monthly sale है. Every table that comes and people come to sit, वो होता है I think एक रेस्टोरेंट का 1 table is there for 1 hour. 1 घंटे बैठते हैं and an average bill is 2,000 rupees. Okay. I need to have 5,000 bills in a year, in a month. 5,000 bills. Divide that by 30. Divide that by 30. कितना होता है? I think 150. Sort of 150 bills होने चाहिए daily के. Imagine you have 10 tables. You have 10 tables. 150 bills होने चाहिए डायरेक्ट टेबल पर. हर एक टेबल का 15. Every table should be able to give me 15 bills a day. Then churning decide karo. So you have to bring customers to you to here, and then when this is what will help you define what do you need money for. Now I do the digital marketing because I need 15 bills to be done from this table. इसलिए मैं आजू बाजू में digital marketing run करूंगा. I'll make people come here. That's how things comes. And the last are the two most important questions which comes in the aspect on a very larger scale for investors who are looking to exit a bigger amount. Simple, how will I and when will I get an exit? I've invested 1 CR. I did not invest because I wanted to forget क्या होता है होने दो. No, I invested because of one reason. I want to make a lot of money out of it. 1 CR invest करके I want to make 5. How are you going to help me do that? That's where your exit strategy comes in the picture. How does your exit shape out? How do you see the exit is planned? How many years? That's what it is defined. And once you see, yeah, 3 साल में I'll be able to return your money or 2x your money, that defines कि अच्छा ROI कैसे calculate हुआ. So this is what it defines the entire discussion of funding defines an entry point and the exit point, both. Right. Now, probably we'll take a couple of questions if they are there. Shrey, more than my invested value isn't our revenue and market cap important for you? Shrey, so investments are defined by, see, okay, 2021. Let me take you back to 2021. That time, people were relying on a different metrics for understanding कि उनके इन्वेस्टमेंट की वैल्यू क्या है. Like people were thinking आपके कितने यूजर है तो then I'll invest. How many things are there, then I'll do. But today the reality is that everybody, whenever you talk about an exit point, they are always defined on revenue and market cap, right? So it has to be a combination of your business. If I was an investor, I would see कि business क्या है, is this a good segment to invest in? Founders, how relevant and well read are the founders, कितना पढ़ा हुआ है, how are they researching other things. Then comes how much revenue are they making, and fourth, then how are they going to give me an exit. If everything gets into this, that's where it channelizes. That's what I would suggest, right? I guess I have two very important ideas which we will discuss at the last. In case I forget, probably if somebody from the audience can remind me, one is the North Star metric, and another is the Delta 4 theory. So in case I forget and miss out, somebody would be able to please remind me at the last, right? Okay, going ahead, the triggers. Now let's see. I said the second point, founder. All that you do around your family is also one of the point which defines how successful you will be. The first, do you have to start earning immediately after your degree? This is important for me because somebody who is under that pressure of earning immediately after the degree means कि ये बंदा शायद स्टार्टअप को जो 2 साल देने हो वो नहीं दे सकेगा. Unfortunately, the scenario says it. That person will have to start earning immediately. Second, are you the eldest? Yes, again it defines can you are the eldest, so you'll have to take care of the family. Then so this is a part of your business plan which you'll have to fill it, right? How do you define on how do you rate yourself on the following parameters? Risk taking. Risk taking doesn't mean you buy out this Adani ke share le liye. I have a high risk appetite. It doesn't work that way, right? Risk taking. How can you think? Do you see a scenario? You have 10,000 rupees in your pocket. Can you risk taking an employee with a salary of 25,000 on that stage? If yes, then yes, you are a high risk taker. I generally do that. Whenever I have to employ a person, I first employ it. हाँ इसको मैंने ले लिया, हाँ चलो 25-50,000 जो भी सैलरी आई टेक इट, बट 50,000 की सैलरी में से आई विल बी एबल टू ब्रिंग अ बिजनेस ऑफ 2 lakhs. That's how you define yourself, right? Are you a loner or a team player? Do you love working in team or do you love working alone? That's how it is. The third, are you argumentative? being argumentative is good. Also, it's bad also. But it all depends on what factors are you doing it. You think unnecessary है तब कर रहे हो? I don't know. It all depends on that, right? And the C pointer, your role business person. What are you like? Are you the first generation in your family who is going to be doing business? हो सकता है there are people who have who have parents and everybody inside your family who has been government jobs. Then it understandably means that you are trying to do something new. You are trying to be an entrepreneur. So obviously your efforts have to be a bit higher. Okay, you have never seen the uncertainty of money in a life, right? That's what this defines, right? So that's the triggers and contents. And again, now the last part of the session before I just keep it open to the audience for comments, questions, and everything. This is the last portion that I would want to teach. This has to be a milestone. So a very beautiful roadmap canvas has been given, wherein the first month you should be doing an ideation. First of all, give out a thought to an idea. As I said, spend 2 hours at a lonely place. Go out to a very different place. Don't get disturbed. 2 घंटे के लिए sit out. Take a huge piece of paper, scribble down the idea. Spend the next 2 months in doing the market research. Do a huge and a very holistic research. The only shortcut to success in this, in being a startup or running a company is one. Read, read, read. As you can see, the feasibility analysis has to be done in the third and fourth. As you can very clearly see that for the first 3 to 4 months, you are spending a lot of time behind research. Never take decisions just because you feel so. I already told you, right? Primary research. Go out to people, meet out people. Because if you are not ready to meet 100 people, आप product बेचोगे कैसे? You are talking about probably talking to 1 lakh, 10 lakh people, sell करना है. 100 लोगों को you are worried to meet, you are fearing to meet, so how will you sell to 10 lakh people? Right? Then the relationship secured. So this is like the relationship with all the stakeholders should be getting secured. Like, okay, you are the right people. Yeah, you have a good co-founder with you, good things. Plan it out. So 3 months, because you are not going to be able to do everything alone. Work out with the people around you. Prepare a detailed business plan, a very detailed business plan. And while you're doing so, though this numbers and this things are given in very specific months, you can always tweak it to make it happen earlier. Once your business plan is out, I said, try to do a pilot business also. Kuch karo, like make a sale of 5 lakh, 10 lakh. Do this, do that. All do that stuff. Prepare a prototype of your product. Kuch banao. We are living in the AI world. As today, if you want to, you and me, I want to use an app. I am a finance guy. I'm a chartered accountant, right? But still, I can make an app of my own. Why? Because I have AI with me. So you can definitely make a prototype of your own. And if you have a good prototype to discuss around, raise some funds through your family. Chota fund, 1 lakh, 5 lakh through them. Go to the market and fetch out now customers. So this is how your milestones of a business should be. You should be very clear on how and what you should be doing around. All right. So now I think there are certain questions that will come in. Let me just take it out. Madhav, you have to just mention option or have to mention reason and trigger. Uh, I guess you just mention out the option right now, but always not a bad thing to mention out reason, but never go in a justification mode, right? Never go into the justification mode. uh, one sec. Never go on to this justification mode कि नहीं मेरा ऐसा है but because I'm doing this, no, don't do that. VK, my application is same as online tender app. Business owner who, okay, so there's this guy called VK. I'm not sure, say he or she has written. The application is like a tender app. People who post their business requirement and the others will just give rate. So example, one person says कि मुझे 500 uniform चाहिए, and the second person like I'll give the rate to the user, right? My question is, why do you think will this work? One. Question two, how will you make money? Third, if you are telling that I will not disclose the identity of these people, एक बार business करके, what if they reach out to each other on their own? How do you protect that? Right? You can probably think around a scenario, a tender app for people below the order value of 25,000, which are doing something, and there are a lot of companies which are doing that. Try to go deeper down into the problem statement. That's how it will happen. Parthiv, it is required that every time, is it required that every time the idea needs to be unique? And if not, how the same idea? Okay. One thing, reality. It is not the always the first one who makes it big. It is never कि जिसने पहले किया वही बड़ा हो. जिसने सबसे अच्छा किया, that person will survive. Facebook was not the first social media. Facebook was perhaps the best social media. Facebook के पहले Friendster था, and then it was Orkut, and then Facebook came. They did it the best. Simple. Focus on delivering value, experience. Reduce the friction. Do that. Casey, how long the plan should be? At least in your mind, it has to be a detailed plan. At least in your mind, it has to be a very detailed plan. For the showing on 30th, I am not sure, but probably the faculty would be able to tell that. Okay, Casey, yeah, okay, I'll share my, no, definitely I'll share my LinkedIn and email addresses with this group. But if there are no more questions, I'll take up the 2 points which are there. Uh, uh, Okay. Any more questions are there? So if they are there, we'll take that up, or else I'll explain these two concepts and see. I'll just my email ID. One second, I'm just writing out my email ID and things so that you guys can we can complete that. Okay. Feel free to drop me any LinkedIn message or this. But anyways, I guess the question of Shrey has been answered. A couple of things to add out here, where I said, and I'll just go through that. Is one is something called a North Star metric. I mentioned this out. What is a North Star metric? Whenever you are making a business plan, always try to find out one number in your entire product or service which you are going to focus on. Example, today I'm running a business. somebody asks me, Rushabh, what is the North Star metric? North Star metric has to be that one number. First thing, it has to be a number. A quantifiable number होना चाहिए. So always anyway. So for me, if somebody asks me, okay, 25. 25 clients is my North Star metric. I want to reach to 25 clients by this, right? Ayush, 1 second, let me check. It should be there. The North Star metric is pretty much what everybody focuses on in a very initial um, a stage. The North Star metric can keep on changing. Let me give you an example of Uber. Uber started off initially. So imagine the North Star metric for them. What was the North Star metric for them? For them, the initial North Star metric was the number of hours, as a number of minutes the cars would take to reach you. The number of minutes, like आप जब भी Uber book कर रहे हो, it shows you 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Imagine that thing coming and telling you कि 18 minute, 25 minute. No. They all, so this North Star metric is a number where the company focuses on and then entire efforts go towards them. Entire efforts. Like when Uber decided we want to bring, so 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes, everybody or every company में जितने भी लोग थे started working on a scenario, you have to bring in this thing. 5 मिनट करना है. Okay, let's do this. Let's bring in more drivers. Give them better technology. ये वो. So that is what you say is a North Star metric. As I said, my North Star metric bringing 25 clients this year, 1st April. So, okay, 25 clients के लिए क्या करना है? I have to work this. The other thing comes in. Okay, then what is the scenario that you should have? कि 25 clients के लिए मैं current offerings जो मैं कर रहा हूँ उसको 10 या 12 client हो रहे थे. Okay, I have to learn more. But that metric has to be defined, right? You remember that Domino's में बीच में बहुत पहले there was an ad 30 minutes में get pizza. What was that? That was a North Star metric for them, right? So always focus on delivering that value. This North Star metric has to be changing everywhere, every time. It cannot be just one focus, but once you achieve this, it has to be other. Okay. And the second thing is Delta 4 theory. Delta 4 theory by Kunal Shah. I have just mentioned that out in the chat. What is the Delta 4 theory? See, always when we are talking around an experience of a person, there are 3, 4 aspects what are always there, right? So very smartly, this guy Kunal Shah explained this. Right? Now, Delta 4 theory. How do you work out the theory? Count out your experience or rank करो experience on a scale of 1 to 10 और 2 सिनेरियो का इवेल्युएशन करो. एग्जाम्पल, बुकिंग अ मूवी टिकट, थिएटर में जाके मूवी का टिकट बुक करो. कन्वीनियंस के बेसिस पर व्हाट डू यू थिंक वाज द एक्सपीरियंस? 10 द हाईएस्ट, 1 द लोएस्ट. तो आई वुड से कि यार थिएटर में जाके टिकट बुक करना वुड बी like 1 or 2 means that was painful, right? And then came Book My Show. Simple. Ask your friends, book it, get it done. On a scale of 1 to 10, convenience, how much it has improved? I would say 7 or 8. Why 8 and why not 10? Because they charge extra. 8. Now, पहले 2 था, बाद में हुआ 8. The difference between this is more than 4. 8 minus 2. whenever you are trying to solve a problem which has a delta of 4 or above, means your idea is 100% successful. This is what I say. And when you are solving such a problem, the product will be efficient, you'll make a lot of money, people will boast about your product. Trust me, people will start about boasting कि हाँ वो app use की, you saw this app, this was a new app, something like this. And then comes the last and the most thing, the people, in spite of having certain inefficiencies, people will keep on using it. Another example, buying clothes, right? Buying clothes. How is your experience when you go to a mall? 4 or 5? How about online? 6 or 7? The delta is not 4. So means, okay, if you survive, you survive. If you make big, you can, but not. But if the delta is 4 or above, UPI, train tickets, IRCTC, book my show, so many things have happened. And this is not what you only should be doing, but at least 40, 50 people around you should be telling, कि हाँ, ये पहले, this was not convenient. This is more convenient. So that's what the delta for theory is. And these are the points which you should be able to include and identify inside your product, inside your business plan to arrive at the right thought process or on whenever you are wanting to define a business plan. See, ये delta 4 का मैंने बताया वैसे. What is an identified need? जो question नहीं था, there was a question like, what's the identified need? This is a problem. This is a solution. How are we doing it? We are doing it by tech. You are solving convenience. You're solving doing it. Simple. And the more you read, the more you will understand about the possibilities which are there in the market of solving a problem. Like Myntra, or other, छोड़ो Myntra. Let's talk about Amazon. Started with just a bookstore. And now tell me one thing which is not available on Amazon. Perfect. WhatsApp. I am 39. I belong from the SMS era. I belong from the SMS times. हम लोग SMS पे बात करते थे. I have to send an SMS and then I have to wait कि अच्छा 10 मिनट के बाद reply आएगा. There was no blue tick. I have to just wait. People used to do that, right? Then came the WhatsApp phenomenon. Now everything is on WhatsApp. People are sending reminders on WhatsApp. Payment भी WhatsApp पे पूछते हैं ये वो. So that's what it is. The convenience has changed, right? The earlier one versus the current one. That's what you brings you, and you pick up any successful company, evaluate holistically on a very detailed front. That's where you do. And for people who are there in this session, I think we have more than 50, we are around 50 people out there in this session. Just think around this aspect, pick out certain products which you think are successful in the market today. Uska research karo, search out for the business plan available for there. Then accordingly, you also can prepare your business plan, right? And there are certain, so many things like this which can be there. I've just shared a very few of them, which can be overall it can be used. But that is it from what I want to deliver. Now, getting the stage open for all the people, any question, whatever it is being, be it from business plan side, be it from business wise, feel free to come. I'll stop sharing my screen so we can discuss. I'll be more than happy to take off all the questions that we have because we have enough time with us to discuss it out. I think there was a question बीच में आया था like digital marketing. Today, India is at a stage where rather than or before doing the digital marketing, you should be more focused on creating your personal brand, right? Create your own personal brand. खुद का make your own brand. That will help you do. Start writing on the product that you are doing and why, right? I think who had this question? Digital marketing. It was earlier by very Asian. I think Madhav. I think Madhav had asked a question. Yeah, Madhav. You're talking around this product. Start going out on LinkedIn, different models. Start going out, mentioning out whatever you say. So, for example, mentioning out writing on LinkedIn and other platforms on how is this product different? What are the challenges faced by the other products? Why are builders and people are looking to this product? Build your brand. Just write whatever you have learned. You and me are not Virat Kohli or Narendra Modi, right? Very honestly, Madhav. Nobody is going to come after us with के boss आपको मैं arrest कर दे रहा हूँ. Nobody is going to do that. Enjoy, uh, do this stuff, build your personal brand, and that's easy. बाद में digital marketing will be very easy. Uh, Casey, sir, how do you apply Delta 4 theory to fashion business? Also, what can be possible marketing strategy to India A? Delta 4 theory, fashion business. There are a lot of listed companies. Casey, I would love to know your name, but I'm not sure. But there are a lot of listed companies in India in the fashion space, right? A lot of brands. Okay, Kinshita. So Kinshita, there are a lot of companies who Manyavar is a listed brand, by the way. Go out, pick up their annual report, forget the financials. उसके आगे का खाली पढ़ लो. Just read the annual report, which is a publicly available on Money Control या ऐसा कुछ. Just start reading it. You will know how does India A behave. That's how you it is. That's how people will do that. Your second question, how do you navigate tech? Perhaps once I got a lot of LinkedIn requests already, but for people who would know that in spite of being finance, I am a tech enthusiast. I try to implement tech. I see an implementation of tech in everything. In fashion, imagine going out and preparing a tech-based product. Jahan you start a camera. I don't know how this can be done on the tech front. You can check it out. आप एक फोटो खींचो खुद का सेल्फी. You will be able to see how the dress looks on you. How does the dress looks on you only in your selfie mode? If this can be done, your product will fly. Example to this. Whatever I say, whenever I say, it's purely a very purpose driven and a very realistic. Everybody knows this company Lenskart. Shark Tank पे आता है तो अब तो जानते ही है. But does anybody know Shark Tank का सबसे बड़ा moment कहाँ था? Lenskart. Piyush Bansal, the owner of Lenskart, was in 2016 के आसपास. 2016 he was going out and he was in Israel. He was on a family vacation or something like that. There he found out a company called Ditto, DITTO, not the Ditto company right now that we have in India, a different one. Ditto क्या कर रहा था? They had created a technology जहाँ वो face का surveillance करता था. Like okay, there are 4 points, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 1, 2, 3, and this are 4. ये 4 points के यूज करके आपका एक फेस का वो बना देता था. And once you have clicked the photo, you can use it. You can tilt it this way. This guy had done it, but it was a loss-making company. Lenskart went to Ditto, this guy, and checked out, okay, boss, I want this technology. He was like, मैं देता हूँ, but only condition. You will be able to give only to me in India, nobody else. Deal done. $1 million चाहिए थे, दे दिए. Lenskart brought this technology in India where you just go there, click your photo on the Lenskart website, and then you select and you see how does the specs look on good on you. And that was the truly eureka moment for Lenskart. Before I forget, Kinshita, you can check out this company called GetAina.ai. GetAina AI ऐसा कुछ है. I just shared it with you out here. GetAina में क्या है? You get आपके ड्रेस है, you just pick your dress. Somebody uploads an image and you can create uh, different images of how does it look on different people. But probably this is what people are doing in the tech domain, right? Uh, okay. Hate, first of all, I want to work or explore with new startups. How can I connect? Hate, one thing that you should do. Be active on LinkedIn, be active in networking events, and that's it, nothing else. You'll be able to see a lot of startups. Startups, none of the startups would tell कि नहीं मुझे internship के लिए किसी के साथ नहीं काम करना. Invest 3 months, 6 months, 3 to 6 months with a startup and you'll learn a lot. Okay, Madhav, if I think my target is B2B, so it will be very price sensitive. But if I could collab with NBFC, we can give a big credit line to developers. Is it right, or do you suggest something? Yes, it is pretty much right. NBFC के साथ collaboration करो. Eventually, if you're able to raise some funds, just buy out an NBFC, boss. Buy out an NBFC. Have your own credit line. And simple. See, I am working with this company called Miku. I'm just mentioning it out. I know this guy, Arjun. Migu is basically democratizing, is trying to put a lot of stuff on the building material segment. So perhaps maybe useful to you, but you can check this out. They are also probably thinking on the same or similar wise. Any questions? I would love to answer because it's been enjoying. I'm enjoying actually. Um, uh, Good, it's good that we are discussing a lot of practical problems and scenarios. Open for any questions, even apart from business plan, to be honest.
Hello everyone, feel free to ask any questions that you have right now because at the end you will get more clarity about it. Even if you think it's not valid or something, please shoot at it and then the sir can answer it.
See, you can just ask. Don't worry what people are going to you. What people are going to think around this. As I said in the earlier, I just wish I had certain programs like this, but certainly they were not. As I said, I write a lot. I do a lot of stuff on LinkedIn, Instinct. The primary reason is that only. Oh, there's a lot of possibilities today. Anyways, okay. Heath, in pitch of product, what is most important you focus on? Four things, as I said. Business क्या है? Is it about a segment which is going to be the future? और पुराना कोई है, number one. Founders. How intelligent or well researched are the founders? Third, how are they going to make money out of this? And the fourth aspect. ये सब हो गया, मुझे exit कैसे मिलेगा? If I'm being asked as an investor, if people come to me and ask, okay, Rishabh, give me consultancy services, we would want that. Before charging our fees, this is what I do. The other three aspects I see: market, founder, revenue. That's it. And अगर investment आ रहा है तो ये. That's it. Very clear. And I think every investor does that. With this thought process, you can now also understandably see how Shark Tank में लोग आते हैं, right? You would have seen Shark Tank. You can probably now understand with this renewed or a new mindset, but how Shark Tank works. Now you'll be able to understand that. Questions? Mm, I have a common idea like beverages, but we will give good experience and family-free environment. So are we trying to say that you are going to Nirmal? Are you trying to say that you are going to open up a cafe or something? You can come on the screen and tell, like, let's talk also. Don't worry. If you want, we can discuss it, huh? Don't feel free to do that. Or else, if not, then okay. My question is counter question. What I am actually confused. What, like whether you want to open up a beverage brand or a cafe or something like that. Okay, not cafe, but like that. Can you just, Nirmal, can you come on the, probably you can keep your, you can unmute yourself and ask questions. Let's have better discussion. Will be helpful for audience also, if you can.
Nirmal, can you convey it out on by turning on your mic or something?
Desi Theka, okay.